You say you a gangster, You say you a gangster, You say you a
Going on, guys, it's Bubble Off here, and today I'm gonna be unwrapping the LEDs. I'll be installing them and I'll show you guys how they perform. I really love them, to be honest. They are much better than HIDs simply because of the price, and the performance is basically the same, if not even better. And yeah, overall they are great. On the right side here I got the high beams, on the left side I got the low beams. So I actually bought both, and in today's video I'll be installing both, and the process of the installation was basically the same. So here's a close-up look of the box and how the box actually looks. If anybody needs it, you guys can just stop the video and check it out. Alright, so here I got the high beams, and let's open up the box. We've got the instructions manual at first, which has actually quite a bit of some useful information. So here are the high beams. The box itself looks amazing. It wraps up the high beams. It looks like during the shipping process nothing bad will happen to them, so I would expect them to work perfectly fine just because of the wrap up and how it actually looks. And when you take a closer look at the high beams, you've got no scratches and the quality just looks amazing. The metal is also really sturdy. I'm not sure which metal they used, but it's definitely very sturdy. You've got a little bit of wiring here, just for extra flexibility if you need it, since these high beams do go on several different makes and models of vehicles. Alright, let's close it back up so I don't accidentally break anything while carrying it downstairs to my car, and let's check out the low beams. So the low beams, same exact packaging as the last one. You've got the manual again, a little social media piece of paper, and here you've got the light bulbs themselves. Again, no scratches, everything looks perfectly fine, almost identical to the high beams, but not exactly. The installation process is going to be exactly the same for both the high beams and the low beams. Alright, let's put it back in the box. Keep it safe while we take it downstairs for the installation. Here you got the little thank you note from AUXITO, if that's the right way to say the company's name. Here you've got the manual itself. If you guys, once again, if you guys want to stop the video, go ahead and do so if you want to check out the manual. Alright, so here I got the HID kits that I previously had on my vehicle. Look at the amount of wiring and how annoying it actually was to install it. Not only were they $200 more, they performed almost exactly the same as my LEDs do now, and just it's so much more messier. Picks up a lot more dust, and it's bad. It looks bad in the engine bay, and it's just I didn't like them. That's why I got these AUXITO LEDs. Alright. So here you got the high beams. All you simply really have to do is just turn them to the side and clip them out. Notice the amount of dirt coming out of them. That is insane. With the new LEDs, they actually have a lot more sealing to them, so when you put them in, the dirt won't really get past the headlight, into the headlight. So that was the halogen high beams. Here I'm showing you the little clips where you just simply have to line it up with the headlight and just put it straight in there. And once again, we can just take a look at the LEDs before I put them in. You've got the same attachments as the previous halogen bulb, since they are HB3. So here what I'm actually doing is just plugging it in and putting it inside the box, and then just walking over into my car and turning on the light bulb and seeing if it actually works. So that way when I install them, I'm not surprised if they're working or not. That would be kind of disappointing. Just turn on your headlights, don't need to turn on your car at all. There you go. Blink it a couple times, works great. And now we can unplug them and put them back into the headlight. This is basically how it looks inside the engine bay. It looks a lot more clean than the HID kits I had. They had so much wiring, I didn't know where to put them. And with the wiring, you want to be careful because you don't want the wiring to be touching an object that may get hot, like a piping that may get hot. So just be aware of that. If you don't know if there's a hot piping next to the light bulb, simply run your car for 10 minutes and then turn it off, put on some gloves, and check if you've got anything hot next to your light bulb, so that way the wire doesn't melt. And again, look at the sealing of the light itself. It seals up so well, there definitely won't be any dirt at all. Alright, let's go to the other side now. With the other side, we basically have the same process. Just turn it the other way and it'll work just fine. Again, I'm checking if the light bulb works, so that way I'm not wasting time when installing it, so that way I don't have to reinstall it. Just another close-up look. Same exact thing as the other side. No differences. And here in this little clip, you can kind of see that I'm struggling to put it in. Sometimes you need to use a little more force in order to install it, but there's no problem with that. As long as you're not pulling on any wires, you won't break anything, because the LED bulbs are metal, so just don't touch the bulbs themselves. The metal part where the fan is, you can touch without no problem. Here's another close-up look of how I installed it. Notice how it's not really touching any extra wires or anything that's metal at all. And I put my halogen bulbs back in the boxes that the LEDs came in, just in case anything happens and I may need to use the halogens. But after owning the LEDs for a week, there's nothing that has happened so far, and I'm really happy over that. Here's a little clip of how the LEDs actually look during the day. This is midday, and it is absolutely amazing. Here's a night picture. No, I'm not sponsored by Wells Fargo, but here's the low beams and the high beams, and they work perfect. They are even a lot more lit up than the HID kits that I had. I absolutely love it. So here's what it looks like while I drive. Please keep in mind that it was raining during the time of my recording, and with that being said, any bulb, halogens, LEDs, HIDs are not gonna look as sharp or as lit up as they would during a normal day without no rain. I mean, normal night. After owning HID kits for over a year and having a lot of trouble with them, I can definitely say that these LEDs are just awesome. They're cheap, they are very reliable so far, and I've had no troubles with them. They don't need to warm up when you turn on the car, nothing like that. And they are not too bright, which also means you won't be blinding anybody with your low beams, and you won't really be hearing any fan noises from the fans inside the light bulbs, because the light bulbs still need to cool down. And I gotta say, they perform really well. They don't shake inside the headlights, which doesn't really create no extra distraction. And honestly, the rest of the clips are gonna be similar. I'm just trying to show you guys examples of how it looks. Alright, now that I'm back home, you can see in my driveway how far and how sharp the LEDs actually light up. It is so nice. I absolutely adore it. And also remember, my camera is not picking up exactly how my eyes are seeing. My eyes are seeing it so much more lit up. In fact, when I'm using my high beams, it reflects from the garage. It's like broad daylight, and I love it. I really do. I gotta say, for $30 extra, well, 60 if you're using both the low beams and the high beams, it's worth the money to actually upgrade and actually be able to see at night and not restrain your eyes from the halogen bulbs. And here, as I get closer to my garage, you can kind of see how lit up it is, and here I'm using a different filter so you guys can see how it actually looks in real life. I was using the blue filter on purpose so that way it looks a lot more clear, almost like what my eyes are seeing, if that makes sense. And there it is. It is so bright. It's just insane. I love it. I turned down the brightness on my camera so you guys can see the light difference between the headlight and the little daytime running LED light that comes with my Honda, and the colors are almost identical, and I gotta say, for the price, it is absolutely astonishing. I love it. I might have said the word I love it like 20 times now, but like I said, it's a great product for its price, and I regret getting HIDs over the LEDs. It's just so much more convenient. And once again, take a look at how sharp the light actually looks when you're driving. Alright, overall, like I said, these LEDs are absolutely amazing, and for the price, I don't see why not. They look cool, they have a stylish look to them. It's white, it's not bluish, neither is it halogen yellow, and I'm amazed. I'm really amazed of how good the technology is getting nowadays, to where you can actually buy products like these for so cheap. Just remember, LEDs used to cost up to like $200 for just headlights, and now $60 for both high beams and low beams. That is amazing.